So one of the important reasons why we are also here at the conference was to launch the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence Shadow Framework Report. So that's a mouthful. But basically what it looks at is what is happening in the country at the moment. What are the plans that government currently has in place to address gender-based violence? Where are the gaps and the weaknesses, and what are the kinds of recommendations that we can make? The report also clearly emphasizes the fact that we recognize that government alone cannot be responsible to curb the levels of gender-based violence. It also needs the input from civil society organizations as well as the corporates. And the corporates are oftentimes a sector that we forget about, forgetting that the very victims or survivors of gender-based violence are women who are out there working in the corporate sector. So it's important that we get them in as well. And so the framework then further addresses 5 key priority areas that we think is important for a national strategic plan for gender-based violence. So one of the key areas that we cover in the document is looking at robust accountability mechanisms.
I think there have been great advances in the state's response to rape in the last 20 years. And it would be an enormous pity if the state gave up on its improving of its response to rape at this critical moment in time, where you have foreign donors unwilling to carry those responsibilities any longer, and we're looking at a decrease in funding to centres like the Tutuzela Care Centres from March 2019. What is the state going to do to make sure that those facilities remain supported and there are enough resources to keep them going equally across all of the provinces in South Africa?
There's a very clear need for government to re-look at and rethink the way it is dealing with violence against women. I think because they want to show they're making a success, they have these numbers where they can say, we reduced rape by 3.5%. We have a 75% conviction rate. But what we're not being told is how many cases got pushed out of the system to get that 75% rate, and how many women got turned away when they went to the police in order to have that decrease in rape, and how, as a consequence of this very poor treatment by the criminal justice system, we can see women don't want to go to the police anymore anyway. And the consequence of that is, how does the criminal justice system act as a deterrent to rapists? It doesn't, because it's basically creating a system that says the majority will get away with it. So in that case, if you want to put it in quite crude terms, rape is a low-risk, high-reward activity for men who engage in it. And we have to change that and get the criminal justice system more functional.
So what really struck me about this conference is just the amazing work that so many organizations are doing on gender-based violence and HIV and the youth. And also the importance of adequate resourcing for these support services. And it's really a sense of, we need to work together, definitely. I mean, without a strong civil society, without a united civil society, our voices are stronger together. And I think that's what this conference has really highlighted for me once again.
And we cannot deassociate GBV with HIV. We know that there is a slim line on GBV and HIV. Most of the women that have been violated, they are also sexual violated. And through their sexual violation, then they being infected by HIV. Violence against women is not ethical and it's immoral. And each and every religion sector and each and every business sector or public sector must have a vocal voice against the abuse of women and children. So we're going to make a difference in terms of fighting the scourge of violence against women and children. It must end it now. #EndItNow.